Welcome, spiritual hustlers, to 53 Days of Mindfulness with EXO and Hustle, presented by Self Hired. I am so excited to have you here. We're about to spend the next 53 days together sharing and dropping knowledge on how to bring spirituality to your grind so you can balance your growth with your hustle. This series is based off the Mindfulness Deck, an actionable 55 card deck designed to take you on a journey of self-understanding, healing, and habit building. The Mindfulness Deck is now available for pre-order at exoandhustle.com. And remember, I love hearing your breakthroughs, so make sure you join the conversation online at EXO and Hustle on Instagram. All right, let's get into it. Today's episode is brought to you by Delush CBD. Delush is a holistic lifestyle company that infuses hemp CBD into your favorite wellness and skincare products. Since we're all about love and good vibes, Delush CBD products are thoughtfully curated with non-toxic ingredients and are cruelty-free. Every product is handmade with all that love and good. You can use the discount code EXO and Hustle for 15% off your next order at delush.ca. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another day of 53 Days of Mindfulness. Alrighty, today's card is all about clear your vibes in nature. So you guys have obviously started to understand that nature is really fucking important for your mindfulness. Now, if you remember, early in this season, we talked about know what season you're in. So if you haven't watched that episode, I do highly recommend going back and just giving it a peep because it's going to give you a lot of information about all the different elements of nature. But let's get into today's and we'll tell you why it relates. So today's card, what you'll see is a young woman who's at the beach. I really wanted to highlight Ambleside Beach here because Ambleside Beach in, I think it's West Van, has just been like a game changer for me. But essentially what you'll see is this girl, she's smoking a J and she's wearing this like dope ass jean jacket. This jean jacket, actually, just side note, is the first product EXO and Hustle ever truly released. And it was of a brown woman counting cash and just being so in her fucking power. We don't make those anymore, but I mean, if you got one, collector item. But so she's wearing this jacket. So she's sitting and standing in her power and the sun is coming down. So you're starting to see these like sparkles of like the night sky, like start to fill it up. And you'll see in the distance that there's just snow-capped mountains and they're like, oh, they're so beautiful. Like they just range in size and there's all these trees and you see the ocean. It's like the tide is coming in and out on the beach and there's the Lionsgate Bridge, which just ties in the city back into the nature. And this, like literally the sun is orange. There's just so much going on. Now, as I say all of that, like just imagine like a time in your life when you've seen nature like that. You've seen the sunset and the way that it paints the sky, the way that the waves crashing in sound and feel to your body, the way that like just looking out and seeing those small little like hints of city keep you very grounded. Like, yo, I'm still in the city, but I'm like immersed in nature. Now I know like I might be I'm like saying that. I'm like, yo, but I live in Vancouver, so I might be a little extra blessed. But I'm sure that you guys can think of a time or even seeing it on the TV where you've witnessed this. And so imagine putting yourself back in that seat, in that time in your life where you're watching all of that and experiencing all of that. And just think of what it did for you. Like, what did it do for your energy body? Like for your aura, for your system, for your mind, for your emotions, you know? A big thing that I learned, I had been a city girl my whole life. And then I ended up moving over to Vancouver Island for university. And when I was there, everything closed at 6. And I was like, yo, I grew up like in the city where there's all of these Asian shops and they're open 24 hours. So if I wanted somewhere to go at like fucking 4 a.m, I had somewhere to go, you know? So everything closing so early was super, super weird to get used to. But what it forced me to do was start to, I don't know, just go and explore the island and what did it have to offer. And so I was this like materialistic, like, I don't know, like juicy couture wearing little bitch. And I go to this island and I'm like, everyone's just wearing like North Face and shorts. And they're like, yeah, I'm just going for a hike. And I thought it was so interesting. Not that either of those brands commit you to that one way of that reality, but just painting a picture for you guys. So I found it so interesting, like the way that people lived and what they needed. And the more that I would meet people, people would be just immersing themselves in nature. And so I was like, yo, well, where are you going? And blah, blah, blah. And I started exploring. And so, I started going to these big beaches. I started going to these lookout points. I started, hiking in the trees. And every time I did that, it was like I was so grounded and rooted and connected in a way that I hadn't felt before. And this was around the same time where I started to learn how to meditate. So it was like I was navigating all of these different energies within my energy body that were just so freaking cool. Like if I felt out of all sorts, or just like so like everywhere, like, I'm crazy. Like I would go into the forest and the forest would ground me. Like just think about it for a second, yo. If a tree takes 100 years to grow, think of how much life that tree has seen and how grounding that is and how deep those roots have to be in order for it to just skyrocket and just like be standing there so beautifully. Or like, have you ever seen a tree where the branch is like, it grows so weird and you're like, yo, that branch was just like, I'm not going to grow this way. I got to pivot and grow this way and I'm still going to be majestic and beautiful as fuck. And it's like so cool to witness and watch and see and be a part of that kind of nature, or like whenever I feel very like emotionally drained or like I just need a cleanse. This is also because I'm a water baby, is like I'll go to the beach and I will just stand there and I'll just allow it to cleanse me. You know what I mean? Or like if it's really windy that day, like I'll put all my windows down in the car so I can just feel the wind like all through me. I mean, my hair gets really tangled, but what else it does for my spirit is super dope. So in saying all that, I want you guys to know and start to consider your relationship with nature. I remember I had these like 4 incredibly transformative years, and I would always go back to this one same spot at the beach. And I was sitting there one day and I remember I was like wearing this red sweater and it said cool, calm, and collected. And I was like, I am none of these things right now. And it was raining and I just went to the beach and I just started running and I started like literally dancing in circles. I probably look fucking crazy, you know what I mean? But I needed it. And I was doing that and I started sitting down and I'm like, yo, isn't it so cool like how much I've changed, but this spot has always stayed the same? But it goes through its cycles. Like it's changed too, but it's different but the same. And it's like kind of like just like me, like I'm different but the same. And so being there is just like rips out all of this energy that I've just attracted that I don't need, or all of that like that musky, foggy shit within me that I don't need, and it just clears it all out. And it's like so rewarding. It feels so like, oh, this 20 minutes that I spent in nature like fixed those 10 issues that I have. Like, how the heck did that happen? So I want you guys to really experience that for yourself, because it's one of those things that I can try to explain to you, and I feel like I've told you a few different types of stories where it really highlights how it makes you feel. But this is one of those things that you gotta feel it to believe it. You gotta really truly experience it. So if this is not sparking a memory for you when you've been out in nature and it's just completely elevated you, I want you to get excited, because I want you to go into nature. Today's mindfulness tool is go into nature and just be there. It's not going to happen instantly, but sometimes it does though. But if you're new to it, it might not happen instantly, but I promise you the practice of putting yourself in nature and closing your eyes and connecting, whoa, game changer. You guys have to tell me about it, or like about your current experiences in the comments, because this is one of my favorite topics to talk about, is how we as human beings are nature and how impactful nature is on us and we are to it. So today's Don't Mind My Hustle affirmation is, may I clear my vibes in nature. Continue strengthening your intuition offline by pre-ordering the Mindfulness Deck at exoandhustle.com. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe and share with all your friends so you can all bring spirituality to your hustle. Until next time, keep being the spiritual hustler you already are.